What if you could pay $20,000 today and train with jiu-jitsu legends like Gordon Ryan and John Danaher for the rest of your life? It sounds like the ultimate golden ticket for any serious practitioner of the gentle art. Kingsway Jiu-Jitsu, the new Austin-based powerhouse led by the most dominant no-gi grappler in history, put that exact offer on the table. A $20,000 lifetime membership announced via Instagram for just 5 lucky, or maybe unlucky, people. It's an unprecedented chance to embed yourself in the laboratory of the most innovative and successful team in modern grappling. But is this a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, or is it a massive $20,000 gamble on a business and a team with a well-documented history of instability? The jiu-jitsu community is buzzing, with online forums and social media threads exploding over the offer. Some see it as a bargain to learn from the best, while others are calling it a sketchy-as-hell cash grab. So today, we're breaking it all down. We're going to look at the offer, dissect the team's volatile history, examine the leaders at its core, and analyze the financial risks. By the end, you'll have a much clearer picture of whether this is the deal of a lifetime or a potential financial catastrophe waiting to happen. Let's start with the deal itself. This isn't some rumor. Kingsway announced on their official Instagram account that they were selling just 5 of these lifetime memberships. For a one-time fee of $20,000, you get a lifetime of training at their brand new facility in Austin, Texas. To get the appeal, you have to understand what Kingsway represents. This isn't just another jiu-jitsu academy. This is the latest version of a lineage that has completely reshaped the sport. It's led by Gordon "King" Ryan, a man widely seen as the greatest no-gi grappler of all time, and coached by the mastermind John Danaher, whose systematic approach to jiu-jitsu has created a generation of champions. Their standard unlimited membership costs a premium $400 per month. At that rate, the $20,000 lifetime fee pays for itself in exactly 50 months, or just over 4 years. For anyone planning to dedicate a huge part of their life to training in Austin, the math, on the surface, looks amazing. 4 years of payments for a lifetime of access. It almost sounds too good to be true. Imagine having daily access to the minds that developed the leg lock systems that dominated the sport, the back attack systems that have become the new meta, and the tactical geniuses behind some of the biggest wins in ADCC history. The offer isn't just for mat time. It's an invitation to be an insider in the room where the future of jiu-jitsu is being built. For a dedicated few, this isn't just a gym membership. It's a grappling pilgrimage. The promise is huge. Pay one lump sum and learn from the kings of the sport for life. But a promise is only as strong as the people making it. And that's where this shiny golden ticket starts to look a little sketchy. The question thousands of people are asking isn't about the quality of the jiu-jitsu. That's undeniable. The real question is about stability. Will Kingsway in its current form even be around in 4 years to make good on that promise? To answer that, we have to look at the past. To really get the risk involved in a lifetime deal with Kingsway, you have to realize this team has had 3 different names and 3 different homes in just the last few years. This isn't just rebranding, it's a pattern of dramatic breakups and hopping from one city to another that would make any long-term investor nervous. It all started in the famous Blue Basement of the Renzo Gracie Academy in New York City. This is where John Danaher, a grappling savant, started training a small group of obsessive students. That group, including a young Gordon Ryan, Gary Tanan, and Eddie Cummings, became known as the Danaher Death Squad, or DDS. They were a wrecking ball, coming out of nowhere to terrorize the grappling world with a brutal leg lock system nobody had an answer for. They were a unit, a brotherhood, and the most dominant team in the sport. The first major crack appeared when Danaher announced a move to Puerto Rico in late 2020 to create a grappling paradise. That paradise was short-lived. By July 2021, the dream was dead. Danaher posted on Instagram that the Danaher Death Squad was officially splitting up, citing vague reasons like personality conflicts and conflicting values. The fallout was messy and public. The DDS shattered into two rival camps, which both, ironically, set up shop in Austin, Texas. Gordon Ryan, Gary Tonon, and John Danaher formed New Wave Jiu-Jitsu. The other core members, like Craig Jones and Nick Rodriguez, started the B team. The brotherhood was over, and the two sides became bitter rivals. For a while, New Wave operated out of a temporary facility in Austin. They were successful, dominating at ADCC 2022. Then, in early 2025, the next big change hit. With the announcement of a brand new headquarters, the team rebranded again. New Wave Jiu-Jitsu was out. Long live Kingsway Jiu-Jitsu, a nod to its new leader, King Ryan. So let's just recap that. In a few years, the team went from Danaher Death Squad in New York to a failed project in Puerto Rico to a dramatic public split to New Wave Jiu-Jitsu in a temporary spot, and now, finally, to Kingsway Jiu-Jitsu in a new building. That is a dizzying amount of change. This history of fractures, moves, and rebrands is the single biggest red flag for anyone considering a lifetime investment. A lifetime is a long time, and this team's track record for staying in one place under one name is incredibly short. A lifetime membership is really a bet on leadership. You're trusting that the people in charge will be there to hold up their end of the bargain. At Kingsway, the two pillars of that promise are John Danaher and Gordon Ryan, and a close look at both men shows some major red flags that should make any potential investor think twice. Let's start with the architect, John Danaher. For years, he was the mysterious sensei behind the world's most dangerous grapplers. His systems are legendary, but in February 2025, Danaher made a shocking announcement on Instagram, citing a lifetime of injuries and the need for major surgeries, including replacements for his other hip and both knees. He said he would have to reappraise his role in coaching. He specifically said his recovery might force him to switch focus to more recreational jiu-jitsu coaching instead of the elite competition coaching he's famous for. While he has since been seen on the mats, the statement itself was a bombshell. The guy whose brain is the gym's biggest asset just put a giant question mark on his own future. For someone buying a lifetime membership based on his genius, that's a terrifying thought. With Danaher's role in question, the leadership weight falls squarely on Gordon Ryan's shoulders. He's now the face and the driving force of Kingsway. As a competitor, his greatness is undeniable. He's the king. But leading a business is a whole different ballgame, and Ryan's career has been a magnet for controversy. His social media presence is famously abrasive, filled with public fights with almost every other big name in the sport, from former teammates to rivals. These aren't just competitive rivalries. They often spiral into personal, public flame wars. On top of that, Ryan has been open about his own serious health battles, especially with his stomach, which have kept him on the sidelines for long stretches. So what does this leadership picture look like? You have the foundational coach, Danaher, who is dealing with serious long-term health issues that he admits might stop him from coaching at the highest level. And you have the new leader, Ryan, who has his own history of health problems and a clear pattern of public conflict. That's not exactly a picture of stability. A lifetime membership is a bet on consistency and reliability. The current situation at Kingsway doesn't offer much of either. So here's the dilemma. You have the undisputed best jiu-jitsu knowledge on the planet on one side. On the other, you have a documented history of team breakups, leadership health scares, and non-stop drama. The break-even point is over 4 years. What would you do? Is training with the GOATs worth the risk of the gym imploding before you get your money's worth? Before we get to the final verdict, let me know what you think in the comments. Is this a genius move or a disaster waiting to happen? And while you're down there, if you're getting value from this, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Let's be brutally honest. This isn't an investment, it's a high-stakes gamble. An investment implies some level of safety and a reasonable expectation of return. What Kingsway is offering is more like putting $20,000 on your favorite fighter to win. The upside is amazing, but the chance of a total loss is very, very real. Let's break down the money part. The offer is basically a form of high-ticket crowdfunding. By selling a handful of these lifetime deals, the gym generates a huge, immediate flood of cash. 5 memberships at $20,000 each is a quick $100,000 up front. That's capital they can use for anything, paying for the new facility, funding their pro athletes, or just creating a financial safety net. The tactic is straight out of the high-ticket sales playbook. Create scarcity, only 5 spots available. Create urgency, a deadline of January 31st. And sell a dream, in this case, a transformed jiu-jitsu game. The model is designed to tap into the intense passion of the jiu-jitsu community, but it puts all the risk right on the consumer's shoulders. Comments from grapplers on Reddit show this exact fear, with one user writing, "Will Kingsway be in business 5 years from now?" Another shared a warning, "One time I paid a year in advance to save money, never again." The gym closed. One person joked about the team's pattern, saying the next step is to shut down Kingsway and make the lifetime membership useless, then open up a new school under a new name. It might be a joke, but it perfectly captures the anxiety around this offer. You are betting that the business, Kingsway Jiu-Jitsu, will survive for at least 4 years. You are betting that Danaher and Ryan will stay present, healthy, and actively involved. You're betting there won't be another team split. You're betting that Gordon Ryan doesn't get into a fight with the landlord, decide to move again, or just get bored of running a gym. The entire financial upside is on the back end, requiring you to have blind faith in the gym's future. And based on the evidence, that faith seems pretty risky. Beyond the shaky history, there are the cold, hard questions anyone would ask before handing over $20,000. And the silence on these questions is deafening. What does lifetime actually mean? Is it your lifetime or the lifetime of the gym? As one sharp observer on Reddit pointed out, the lifetime membership is referring to the lifetime of the gym, LOL. This is a critical point. If Kingsway Jiu-Jitsu LLC dissolves, your lifetime membership almost certainly vanishes with it. There's no clause that's going to make Gordon Ryan train you in his garage if the business fails. What are the specific terms about the head instructors being available? You're paying $20,000 for access to Danaher and Ryan. What if Danaher's health forces him to fully retire from coaching? What if Gordon decides to only focus on competing and stops teaching regular classes? Is there a guaranteed number of classes they have to teach? Probably not. You are paying for a brand, and the people behind that brand have no contractual duty to be there every day. Is the membership transferable? If you get injured, have to move for a job, or just decide jiu-jitsu isn't for you anymore, can you sell your spot? In most high-cost gym contracts, the answer is a firm no. That $20,000 becomes a sunk cost. And what happens if there's another team split? History shows this is a real risk. If half the stars leave and open a new gym across town, your membership is stuck at what could suddenly be the B team in more ways than one. You have no options. You placed your bet on one team, and that team might not be the same a year from now. These aren't small details. The fact that this offer was dropped on social media instead of through a transparent process with a clear contract is another huge red flag. It feels less like a structured business offer and more like a spur-of-the-moment cash call, playing on the community's hero worship of its stars. It skips due diligence and goes straight for the emotional sell, a tactic that rarely ends well for the consumer. So, after digging through the history, the leadership, and the financial risks, what's the final verdict on the $20,000 Kingsway lifetime membership? The offer is a masterclass in marketing to a passionate niche audience. It sells an intoxicating dream, lifelong access to the absolute peak of jiu-jitsu knowledge. The value, if the promise holds true, is theoretically massive. It taps right into the desire every serious grappler has to learn from the best in the world. However, that promise is built on a foundation of sand. The team's history is a cycle of relocations and dramatic implosions. The Danaher Death Squad, once a symbol of team unity, shattered into rival factions. The New Wave brand lasted only a few years before being tossed aside for a new identity. This is not the resume of a stable, long-term business. The leadership itself is full of uncertainty. John Danaher, the coaching genius, is facing a future of serious health problems that he's admitted could limit his role. Gordon Ryan, the competitive titan, brings his own health issues and a whirlwind of public drama that makes for a volatile business environment. When you strip it all away, the offer is a high-risk, speculative gamble. You're fronting the business $20,000 and betting it will stay stable, in the same place with the same key people, for over 4 years just to break even. If it folds before then, you lose. If the star coaches leave, you lose. If you have to move, you lose. The business gets its cash up front and dumps all of the long-term risk onto you, the passionate customer. So, is it a golden opportunity or a massive gamble? The verdict is clear. It's a massive gamble dressed up to look like a golden opportunity. It's not a smart financial decision for the average person. It is a high-priced ticket to an exclusive club that has a history of changing its name and kicking out its own members. The final question isn't, is it worth it to train with Gordon Ryan and John Danaher? The answer to that is obviously yes. The real question is, are you willing to bet $20,000 that they will be there together in that same building 4 years from now? Given the evidence, that seems like a bet only a king could afford to lose. What do you think the future holds for Kingsway? Let the discussion keep going in the comments.